Hello, this is RICKY, the Android Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A, where you go over all the latest mobile news that happened during the week, then answer your questions live. Now, every week we do take a couple of emailed questions, and you just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com right down here, and make sure the subject is question. We answer about 3 to 5 questions every week, but if you are watching us live, every Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we do the show live, and every time you watch, you get your guaranteed answer for any question you may have. So if you're watching us live, just ask your question in the comment section down below. Now let's start off with the show. So the big news this week is, yes, we have a confirmation, as we went over a couple of weeks ago. It is the Galaxy Note 7 without a doubt now. There is no Note 6. The Note 6 is out, the Note 7 is in. If you missed our past conversations on why Samsung is doing this, it's just as simple. The reason why Samsung is doing this is because customers were really getting confused last year and the years past of when they went into a store, they saw, oh, the Galaxy S6 must be better than the Galaxy Note 5, even though the Note 5 was clearly better. So, to stop that happening this year, and since, also, of course, the 6 reputation, the 6 didn't do well, so on the S6, so they don't want that same thing to happen with the Note 6. So therefore, they're just skipping the 6 entirely, and it will be the Galaxy Note 7, so that you know that there's an S7 and a Note 7, and you can compare them accordingly then, so you're not thinking that the Note is inferior to the S series. So we also get confirmation while we're at it, of course, about the ability of the also got confirmation about the iris scanner. So the iris scanner is definite, as Evan Blass has said, and he is traditionally always dead on with all of these things. So the iris scanner is confirmed along with IP68, which we went over a couple weeks ago. It is confirmed as well, thank God, that it's 64 gigs of built-in memory, micro SD card slot, and a 4,000 milliamp battery. So all these things he says are confirmed, along with 6 gigs of RAM as well. So we have a hell of a phone coming out, and something that definitely I'm really liking. Alright, so other than that, we have a couple of other Note 7 updates again, that it will be a 64 gig, and this time there will be a blue variant. So there will be a couple of different colors, and what we have is black, silver, and blue. So the gold might be out. They might be out. And the reason why I think that the gold might be out is because silver was such a popular color that I think they're getting rid of the gold and only going to have black, silver, and then blue. What do you guys think about this? I'm very curious to see what the blue will look like, because there was a really good looking blue overseas with the Galaxy S6 that had an emerald green and a blue. Quite frankly, the emerald green is the one I really wanted to have, but we'll have a blue one this time. So I'm really curious to see how it will all look and turn out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. How do you think this phone will be? And then also, this is one of the most interesting rumors. I personally do not believe it's true, but I'm going to try to let you guys know about it just because it was going around this week. And that is that there will only be an Edge Note 7, that there will not be a standard Note 7, there will only be a dual Edge Note 7, and that's it. There will only be one size, and that is the Edge variant. Let me know what you guys think. I really don't believe this, quite frankly. I think it would be very weird for Samsung to do this. I think there will be a Note 7 and a Note 7 Edge. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I, quite frankly, do not buy into this, but let me know what you guys think. And in other news, on the other side, the iPhone 7 is really not looking that impressive right now. All the major changes will not happen until next year, the 10th anniversary of the iPhone, and that's when you're going to get a lot of the big changes. But as for the iPhone 7, you're going to get the dual camera, you're going to get the smart connector, and that's about it. You're losing the headphone jack, that's gone, but that's about it. That's all that the iPhone 7 will really have, and I think it will be one of the lowest selling iPhones, personally. And I think a lot of people will switch to either Samsung or other Android manufacturers, or just not really jump on the iPhone 7 compared to past. But at the same time, I do believe the iPhone 10 or the iPhone X, as I believe it'll be called, will come out next year, and that one will be the highest selling iPhone ever. So I do believe that this year the iPhone 7 will be one of the weakest selling phones of all time. However, I do believe that the iPhone X will be the best selling phone of all time. So I think they're going to have a downside this year because they're missing out on a lot of the technology, that a lot of that wow factor is going to be missing from the iPhone 7. But the iPhone X will have a huge year next year. And again, we have confirmation again. It will have the smart connector. It will have the dual camera, and that's about it. It does not look like there will be a Pro now. It does look like there'll just be an iPhone 7 and an iPhone 7 Plus, and that'll be it. But only the Plus will have the dual camera and the smart connector, whereas the regular 7 will not have either of those. So then it's really kind of like, why get the 7? That being said, we have two other stories that came up this week. Samsung's version of Google Glass has a name, and it's called Head. And I'm really kind of curious about this. I really like the idea of a glass kind of system. I really love Google Glass. The price point was just absurd, and no one was ever going to pay $1,500 for that kind of device. I think $600 is the price point that people should be shooting for, maybe even $500, but that's the price point that I believe customers are willing to pay for. You'll never get something like that over $1,500. It'll be too much of a niche market, and they won't sell. However, I think coming in at that price point, I think will be a lot better, and hopefully we have a better design. All you have to do, make it look like a Dragon Ball Z Scouter. It'll sell like crazy. Alright, and then the last bit of news, which I am kind of excited for, and that is the Huawei MateBook is coming out July 11th in the US, and it's going to start at $699. This is a Surface competitor. It does come with the keyboard case built into it, which is really nice. And overall, I think it's a good design, good overall competitor to it, but we'll have to wait and see just how well it really does. The one thing that I do give Huawei credit for that Samsung didn't do with their Surface competitor is this is coming in other variants, whereas the Surface Samsung Pro only came in one size and storage, and that's why it didn't sell. I think coming in multiple sizes and multiple storage is what you really need to do, and that will make a better version for this. All right, guys, let's start off with the questions that were emailed to me during the week. I see a lot of questions in the chat. If you have a question you want me to answer, just leave it in the chat down below, and I will get to it as soon as we're done with the emailed questions from this week. All right, now let's get started with those. And the first one is from Ryan Thomas. And so Ryan asked a question. He saw the episode 107, so a couple months back on Android Weekly, and saw about the Nexus devices, and we didn't get one at Google I/O, and he has not had Android since the Froyo days, 2008. That's a long time. So he had an iPhone for the last 6 months. He's not really feeling too much because he's had a friend show him a Nexus 6P and fell in love with the look, the style of it. So now he's asking me, should I get a Nexus or a Samsung phone since I'm coming back to Android? So here's my thoughts on that. Although Samsung will give you a much different software experience, plain and simple, Samsung has the best hardware on Android. There's just no denying that. They have the best hardware on Android. Everything they're usually the top rated on, with the exception of the audio out and the speaker, that they're not the best on, not even close actually on the last few ones. But everything else they are better. When it comes to camera, when it comes to battery life, everything like that. So personally, I would suggest getting maybe the Note 7 when it would come out if you're making your grand entrance back to Android, if you're looking for a phone the size of a Nexus 6P. Now, the Nexus 6P will not be replaced till Android N comes out, which is Android 6.0. It's the next operating system. Or sorry, Android 7.0. So when Android 7.0 comes out, that's what will be the next operating system. I do not believe that'll come out till most likely October. at this point, or maybe August still, but we've heard about delays with Android N, so we'll have to wait to see when it comes out exactly. Overall, I would probably recommend getting the next Note if you're going to really give Android a try. I think the next Note will probably be your best bet. You're going to have huge storage, amazing battery life, great camera, everything you want to get. If you're going to try Android, you might as well try the best on Android, which every year for the past 4 years has been the Note. And we have a question from Harry, and Harry asks, he has a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge 32 gig from T-Mobile, and he showed me an attachment video, or attachment photo of a bunch of videos, and they have a corruption sign on there. And he thinks my answer is going to be that he needs a faster memory card, and you're right. Your memory card caused your videos to be corrupted. So that's what happened. Overall, I would definitely say that you're going to want to get a faster speed memory card. You want to go at least 40 megabits per second or faster. I personally have a 95 megabits per second. I would recommend going 70 or 80. Definitely not the bare minimum for me personally. And then you're asking about the dialer. When did we get FaceTime program that was native? So FaceTime is a video chat program only for iOS. So that is not what's on Android. Here's the thing. The video chat feature is from all Samsungs since the S6 and up. So the S6 and the S6 Edge Plus should have had that actually. Maybe you got it with an update, or maybe you didn't update it, and that's why you never got it, but it should have had it. All the dialers since the S6 had it. I know because I had an S6 and I had it on my phone. On T-Mobile. So for that reason, yes, you definitely should have had it on those past ones. But that is only for Samsung to Samsung, or a Samsung to LG G5 or a V10. It's basically higher end Android devices that have this video chat feature on T-Mobile, on AT&T, and I believe Verizon as well. I'm not sure about it on Sprint. I have to look into that again. But yeah, so those are your two answers for your two questions. And finally, we have one last one, and it's from Richard, longtime viewer of the show. And he asked, if I like things like CM Security, Battery Doctor, Clash Cleaner, Clean Master, and all this stuff that, people say you should get, no, I think they're worthless and they drain your battery more than they do anything to help. If you ever want to get rid of junk on your phone, by all means, use Clean Master, get rid of your junk, and then delete it. Because with Clean Master, as it runs in the background, you're going to get your battery drained immensely, and it doesn't help you. So if you just want to get rid of junk files, great. Use Clean Master, get rid of junk files, and then remove it. That's it. And then you asked about Wi-Fi calling or use it on cellular. If you have poor cellular connection at home, then absolutely use Wi-Fi calling preferred. If you don't have it though, if you have really good signal at home, then just use cellular network only or preferred. But yeah, there's no Wi-Fi calling isn't really that bad. It's just depending on your situation in your area. I have really bad signal at my house, so I use Wi-Fi calling when I'm at home, and I use cellular outside of my house. But that's an example of my area. It depends on your area. Alright guys, let's get to your questions, and we have a lot of them. So I will get to those questions in just 1 second. Hybrid asks, can any phone beat the new Note? That's a great question, right? Can any phone beat the new Note? I can tell you only what I can tell you right now before getting the phone. And that is that with the new Note, the one thing I will say is that the specs are amazing. And we have not heard of any phone being this competitive when it comes to specs. Now let me clarify that, because there are phones that have 6 gigs of RAM. There's even a phone that's going to come out that has 8 gigs RAM. But that's not the whole point here. 64 gigs of internal storage and expandable memory and water resistance and wireless charging and fast connection. You know, there's so many things that this phone has, and it's more like, what doesn't this phone have? Whereas you can say what another phone doesn't have very easily. G5 OnePlus doesn't have wireless charging. You can say a lot of things about these other phones that have had issues. But with the Note 7 so far, just based on specs, it is going to be the top phone. Will that be the best phone? Well, we have to wait and see. You know, LG is going to come out with their V12. We're going to have a new Nexus come out, new Nexus 7. You know, there are going to be other competitive devices to this. Will they be better? Only time will tell. Should I buy the Galaxy Note 7? Yeah, why not? It's definitely great. I mean, when it comes to the quality of the game, sorry, I saw the next question. When it comes to the quality of a phone, the Galaxy Note 7 is going to be an amazing phone. It's going to be amazing. I really cannot wait for it. Do you think the Huawei will make the next Nexus? So HTC is making the next Nexus. They're at least making one of them. Last year, though, we had LG make one Nexus, the 5X, and we had the Nexus 6P from Huawei. So, given that reputation, we don't know. We don't know which one's going to be which. I believe what will happen will be that HTC will replace LG for the mid-range, or yeah, I would say mid-range Nexus, and that Huawei will still provide the high-end Nexus. Nothing is confirmed right now, but that's what I believe will happen. That iris scanner is dope. I'm very curious about it. For those of you who've watched over the past couple weeks, I have not been that interested in the iris scanner, to be honest, because of this. I used to use the face unlock, which Android used to have all the way in Android 4.0. We used to have face unlock on Android. We got rid of it because no one used it because of a couple of reasons. One, you could fake it with the photo. So if you had a photo of yourself, you could fake it. Now, Google did a wink thing where it has to wink in order for it to unlock. That, again, still wasn't good enough because of this one thing. No matter what, we want to use our phone sometimes when we shouldn't. Whether that be driving, whether that be in class, whether that be in other different things. And guess what? To put your phone like this, you can't do that in school or in a meeting or in all these different places. It's too conspicuous, not inconspicuous. It's too conspicuous to show, and you'll note it's noticeable. With iris scanning, you're gonna run into the same situation. The only thing I will say about iris scanning is it is definitely more secure than anything else we have. Twins can even have the same fingerprint, but twins do not have the same irises. So that's an important feature. Bring back the IR blaster to keep the gimmicky iris scanner, LOL. That is true. I would gladly take the IR blaster over the iris scanner personally. Same here, doubt it. No two speakers, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't, it does not look like they will have two speakers for the S7, at least not yet. Or sorry, for the Note 7. It does not look like they're going to have dual speakers. iPhone hasn't have anything to offer in years. Obviously, that's debatable. I mean, they're still Apple fanatics. Hey, Ricky, does Samsung will make the Tab S3? So here's the thing. I have heard nothing but rumors actually on the Note tablet coming out with the new Note. But we've seen leaks of a Tab S3. So I have to believe, there's going to be two new tablets. There will be a new Tab S3 and a new Note. And quite frankly, I don't care about the Tab S3 because I'll take the new Note over a Tab S3 any day. The Tab S3 will be the lighter and thinner of the two, but guess what? I'd rather have a Note and productivity and functionality over a Tab S. That's just my opinion. Is more of the same from when they first came out with just different icons and colors, right? What do you think about the HTC Nexus device? Again, we don't have any real specifics on the HTC Nexus device, and that's because Google is working very closely with HTC on this one, and so for that reason we don't know what's going to happen and what they're going to put in this product. What's going to be the camera quality on the Note 7? The camera quality on the Note 7 should be identical to the S7, maybe a little bit different when it comes to video from what we're hearing, but photo quality will be identical, which the S7 is the top rated camera in the industry right now, so that's not saying anything bad about it. Is the Nexus 6P obsolete as it's not available in my country? The Nexus 6P is a great device. It is. It is a great device. But if you did watch my video on should you buy it, I made a video on should you buy it for the S7, the Note 5. Oh, wait. No, the Nexus 6P is not up yet. The Nexus 6P will be up tonight. Tonight we're doing the Nexus 6P. We're doing the S7 Active should you buy it. And one more should you buy it. Oh, the OnePlus 3. So we'll be going over all three of those on should you buy it. They're 2-minute quick videos on just explaining on why you should buy a device or why you should not buy a device right now. For the Nexus 6P, overall, yes, it is a bit obsolete in terms of you can get other devices out there on the market that are cheaper and better than it now. So that's why you could say it's obsolete in that instance. But it's really just depending on the person. And we'll go over that more on that video. Do you think the Huawei Nexus 6P will price drop when the new devices come out? I think the Nexus 6P will price drop, but Google will no longer sell it, and you'll only be able to get it from third-party makers. Because one thing you'll notice about Huawei is they do not keep their other phones for very long. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when it comes to Huawei, they really just don't keep their phones for very long. They get rid of them quickly, and like the Mate 8 you can no longer buy. As soon as a phone does not fit what they need, then it's not going to be there. Yeah, wait for the new Nexus. I would definitely wait for the new Nexus and get the Nexus 6P personally. You're wrong about Google Glass price rate. Most people will only pay $300, no more. See, here's the thing. You have to also be realistic with the glass technology. $300 just isn't going to do it. Why? Because there's too much market research into it. There's too much expenses going into it. So I don't believe they could sell it for $300 and be profitable. Selling it for $600 or $500, they will be profitable, and then it allows them to put more research and more quality and more technology into that next product when you get the second version. I don't know if we're right or not because we don't have anything to compare it to. But considering people pay up to $1,000 or more for an Apple Watch, it's not always about, you know, what our regular perception is. Now, is the Apple Watch a big seller? No, but they've sold over 1 million of them. So again, it's just how many you want to sell. But that's what you really have to get down to. I don't think you have to get a realistic on what a business would charge and what customers will pay for. And $300, I just don't feel a business would charge for that. Look, if they would do it, great, and if they could be profitable for it, great. I just don't see it happening because glass was $1,500. I do not believe it costed anywhere near that, but you have to take that into account. Nexus 6P or the OnePlus 3, the OnePlus 3. Note 4 or the Nexus 6P, the Nexus 6P. Why would they skip the Note 6? Because of the fact that the Note 7 is, again, just because too many customers, and I've talked to sales reps. I've talked to sales reps at carrier doors, and they said that's smart because I guess they got this a lot. Where customers came in and they just saw S6, Note 5, and they were like, well, the Note 5, why is it more expensive than the S6? Because the S6 has to be better. It's the 6. People just think like that. So, therefore, if you're not in the know, you think like that. So that's why the Note 7 will be coming out, no Note 6. People getting confused between S6 and Note 5? Yeah, exactly. Whoa, just had an influx of questions. Oh. People getting how is the battery life on the One Plus 3? Respectable. Not the best, not the worst, but respectable battery life. I really want an X6P. I just wish it had memory card for it. Why did it for women in looks like why they did it for women. I'm guessing you mean another cell phone manufacturer, not women. It looks like you would of, but they stopped. Why is that? Nexuses have never had a memory card. Nexus will never have a memory card. Android, as a company, hates memory cards because they cause crashes and they cause issues. So a Nexus will never have a memory card. They never have. No Nexus ever had a memory card, and no Nexus will. I updated my S7 Edge. I noticed my video player is now missing. How can I get it back? The video player is a free download on the Samsung Galaxy App Store. Just from what you know right now, would you recommend for me to upgrade to the Note 7 from my current Note 5? I would. I will say this, comparing to the Note 5, it's not that the Note 5 was a bad phone, it was the best phone of last year. But the S7 just destroys it in camera quality. I mean, like, the camera quality in the S7 is in another level. There is no competition for it right now. And the fact that the Note 7 will have even better battery life than both of those two phones, which the S7 Edge had a better battery life compared to the Note 5 too. And the Note 7 is even going to have a better battery life than both of those phones. So for me personally, better camera, better battery, I would upgrade. That's the simple answer for me. Not to mention water resistance and expandable storage. It's a lot, in my opinion. Just joining, what are we talking about? We have a lot. We talked about the Note 7's coming out. We talked about the iris scanners confirmed from the Note 7. iPhone 7 isn't going to change much. That's what we talked about, but you can see it, rewind it, and check out from earlier. Can you tell me the cons of the Nexus 6? Oh, if you have the budget, will you go for the Nexus 6P as of today? No, I would go for the OnePlus 3 if you're comparing for a stock Android style experience over the Nexus 6P. The Nexus 6P, the cons of it are the camera's not as good, the battery life's not as good, it's just average on both of those two. And considering you have better on other devices at a lower price point, then yeah, why would you get it? I have a S6 Edge Plus. It seems to die fast daily. I use it a lot throughout the day. I looked at your video and didn't seem to help much. Any suggestions? Have you charged it overnight? Remember, one thing with these new Samsung phones is you cannot charge them overnight or your battery life is going to suck. The only way you charge it overnight is on a wireless charger. If you ever plug this phone in overnight, yes, your battery life will suck. It's guaranteed to suck. And that's because you charged it overnight and you overcharged your battery and now your battery's screwed. That's just that simple. This happens with every smartphone, but with the Samsungs it's worse because it's a faster charge. So just like on the new LG G5 or the OnePlus 3 or any new phone with quick charge, you're going to damage your battery a lot quicker if you plug it in overnight. So that will happen. Just so you know, if you upgrade soon, the S7 Edge is one of the best battery lives I've ever had. It's amazingly long battery life. And obviously the Note 7 will even have better battery life. So if you can upgrade, next time make sure you get a wireless charger if you didn't, and that will help out a lot. What's up with AT&T? Still don't have Marshmallow update. It's just me or us in Texas. AT&T overall. AT&T overall sucks when it comes to updates. Plain and simple. Finally took the 6.01 update on Verizon on the Note 5, I'm guessing, after putting up with for weeks. I am Wi-Fi calling available with this update. I'm guessing you mean is Wi-Fi calling available with this update. I am not sure. I've not been on Verizon for a while now. But I believe so. I mean, it's just there or not. So in your settings under more connections, if Wi-Fi calling is not there, then you don't have it. Or maybe under advanced calling. I know Verizon has something called advanced calling. It might be there too. Oh, yeah, there you go. Under advanced calling feature. If you could buy either the Note 7 or the Bose Q, oh, Billy Cool. Let me explain something to you. I have been thinking every day if I should buy the QC35. I'm going on a small plane trip at the end of July, and I believe I will buy them before then. I believe I will buy the QC35s, review them, test them out, and see if I want to keep them. If not, then I'll return them. But I really want some high quality Bluetooth headphones, and I just want some headphones that will pass the Starbucks test. For those of you who don't know the Starbucks test, I've done this on every headphone review, and that is, can it cancel out the noise at a Starbucks? Because this is what I've done at every Starbucks every time I get a phone call at Starbucks. I pick it up, right? And then when I pick it up, people are like, I can't hear you. I can't really hear you. Then I have to take it off Bluetooth and then talk on my phone, and they can hear me fine. Why? Because cell phones have amazing noise cancellation, but Bluetooth headsets have crappy noise cancellation. Why? Because most cell phones have a 3 mic noise cancellation. Most Bluetooth mics have a 1 mic or at the most 2 mics. For this reason, I want some ones that will cancel that out, and the QC35 looks like it will. But as you guys know, I am doing a European tour in this October, and I need headphones that'll last for 11-hour flight and don't mess with my ears. The only ones that I found that were able to do this personally was the Samsung level overs. The thing is, these aren't really compact. They don't bend in. They're not portable. So I don't want to take these. I hope either Samsung comes out with an update of this to just bend in, and I would be happy with this, because these did pass not the Starbucks test, but it did pass the construction site test. So that was really impressive when back in the day when I reviewed these. I hope they come out with a new one, but if I had to decide between the two, I'm still getting the Note 7. The Note 7 is a must for me. The QC35s are something that I want, but not something that I need. Hey Ricky, does Samsung will bring back the IR blaster on the Note 7? I doubt it will come with an IR blaster. I just do not think that's ever gonna be here, at least not this year. If you could buy either the Note 7 or the Bose QC in August and purchase the other 3 months later, which would it be your first purchase again? For me, it would be the Note 7. But to be fair, Samsung's going to get me the Note 7, so it's kind of unfair yeah, I don't have to make that choice, but if I had to, I would choose the Note 7. Tell us something about the Huawei 9P. The Huawei 9P seemed like a great phone. Unfortunately, we never got to review it here in the studio. Huawei sent us the Mate 8 and the GX8, but we never got the P9. So yeah, I just don't know which one would be more so. Which has sold more, the Gear S2 or the Apple Watch? We will never know that because neither company reports how many they sell. It sucks, but neither company reports how many they sell, so we do not know how many they sold. Anything could be a rumor, could be a wannabe thing, but there's no. Apple has never revealed how many Apple Watches they sold at all, like ever. They skip that in their. They bundle it with Apple TV and all these other things to hide how many they've sold. If I have a streaming box connected to 2 TVs and a PlayStation running at the same time, how much MBS should be my internet be? 2 streaming boxes and a PlayStation at the same time, you want to at least be 50 megabits per second, realistically. Now, most places you might only get 30 or something like that in your area, but I would realistically, you want to be at least 50. Do you know if Samsung brought back the Higher Blaster back? No. I own an S7 Edge. Will it lag in future as the bad experience on my S5? I mean, it hasn't lagged yet, but we'll see. Will the Note 7 still have a glass design? Yes, I do believe the Note 7 will have a glass design. I do believe the S8 next year might have a different design, though. If I purchase an app from Samsung and if they get rid of it in the App Store, should I get my money back? I've never had that issue, but it still should be in my apps, typically. But if not, I mean, I would email them, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, maybe they'll give you a refund. But yeah, there's no right or perfect answer with that. It's. I think it's going to be on a case by case basis, to be honest. Will Samsung create a Nexus someday? Samsung did create two Nexus devices, actually. The Galaxy Nexus was one of my first Android smartphones. Actually, my third, I believe. But I loved it. I loved the Galaxy Nexus. At the time, it was definitely the best phone. It was the first phone with Android 4.0. But here's the thing. The Nexus is a series, well, or at least it became a series, to help out the manufacturers that are struggling. Samsung's not struggling. So you will not get a Galaxy Nexus again for a long time, if you ever will. So they're going with companies like Huawei. They're going with companies like LG. They're going with companies like HTC. These are companies that are hurting. So that's why they keep going with them. I do charge overnight with the cable since the battery was damaged. And is there anything I can do to fix it, or am I stuck? You're kind of stuck, to be honest. I mean, you can do wireless charging from now on, but at the end of the day, it's kind of stuck. The damage is done. Honestly. My Note 5 is downloading the 6.0 update as I write this. I am in Texas. Oh, so we have a person getting the Note 5 update. Are you on AT&T? Is the Galaxy Note Edge T-Mobile getting the new Android update? I believe eventually, but I'm honestly saying we're gonna wait till the end of summer. I have a budget of $400. Is the OnePlus 3 the complete package? I have dropped the idea of buying the Nexus XP. For $400, the OnePlus 3 is probably be your best bet. Yeah. Have you checked out the Gear Fit 2 yet? You know what? I'm waiting on the delivery. I really gotta check on that actually, because that should have been delivered already. I'm waiting on the delivery for the Gear Fit 2. But yeah, I'm waiting to just get it delivered. Should I sell my S7 Edge to buy the Galaxy Note 7? I mean, the Galaxy Note 7 is going to be better. It's going to be better. How much better, though, is a different story. But, yeah, it will be better. What kind of case are you using on your S7? For this one, I'm using the Case Former case. I really like because it's a silver, very thin, very slim profile. I have a full review on it, so check that out. And on my S7, I just have a clear case from Incipio. It has a black border around it, and I just have that so I can show off my Yoda. All the reviews I've heard, the Bose smashes all others with noise cancellation. Yes, that's true, but when they're talking about noise cancellation, they're talking about isolating everything so that you don't hear it. That has nothing to deal with the voice call quality, which has been mixed, actually. Most reviewers, actually, I've seen are not saying it. There's only a few that I've actually heard that have brought it up. And that's, again, my biggest thing is actually the noise cancellation on a call, not the noise cancellation from you being able to hear or blocking out everything else. So that's the main thing. Your thoughts on the iPhone 7. Will it be able to compete with the Note 7? Not the way it's looking. The iPhone 7 looks like it will be a bust. Now, I'm not going to say, look, it's going to still sell over 5 million phones the first weekend. It's not going to be a bomb. But it will sell far less compared to year over year by far. Whoops. Sorry, a lot just updated. Try the LG Tone Pro for long plane flights. I work in a noisy workplace and it do good for me. See, I would actually probably pick the old LG tones because of the fact that the Infinims right now, the not the Infinum Platinums, I'm not sure about that, but the Infinims right now, my friend just reviewed it on his channel, H2 Tech Videos, and he has had a horrible experience. Like it's been so bad, and he's been seeing that actually a lot of people have really a lot of issues with this new pair of Infinims, which is their best one before you get to the $200 ones, the platinum ones, which are only supposed to have metal, and that's the only difference. It's supposed to be. So I would actually pick the older Infinims, but if I'm gonna pay that kind of price, I'd rather get the Bose headphones that are coming out for the in-ear ones, and again have a better quality, in my opinion. He will review those though too, so if I wait for it, I'm gonna wait to see what his review is, and then I'll be able to try them out, see them before I get to buy them. I have an S7 Edge, but I want to sell it to buy the Note 7. What's your opinion on it? I would wait till the Note 7's announced before you make that kind of decision. What's the best Bluetooth speaker on the market? I mean, the UE rolls are very hard to compete with. Or sorry, the UE booms and the UE rolls. The UE boom is a really competitive one. I would say small, portable, easy to take around. So yeah, I would probably say that one. It depends on the price point, though. It really depends on the price point. Because the Beats Pill Plus is actually Beats' best speaker they've ever had. It actually beat out the Bose one at that size. So yeah. Hey Ricky, looking forward to the Note 7. Which laptop would you consider a high performance in many categories? To be quite honest, with laptops, it really depends on a lot of circumstances. The biggest being, what are you going to use a laptop for? Because one of my favorite laptops out right now is the new HP one that looks super sexy. It's the lightest, thinnest laptop ever made. It looks perfect, right? But if you're doing graphics, like if you're doing video editing, if you're doing gaming, not for you because it doesn't have a dedicated graphics card. If you're doing photo editing and basics and basic usage science, that's the best one to get right now. But if you're doing more graphics intensive ones, then it all depends on the processor and the graphics card and nothing else. But also one thing that I really recommend is you always want to try a laptop out. Why? Because you want to use the keyboard and see if you like it. If you don't like the keyboard, then, you know, if you don't like the keyboard and the trackpad, that is one of the worst things you could do to yourself, to get a laptop and then you don't like those two things because that's what you're using every day. Is the MacBook Pro 15-inch a good choice, or should I wait for the new MacBook? I would wait for the new MacBook at this point. I quite frankly don't like Mac OS. There are two new features that I really do like about it on the new one, and one of them is the universal clipboard. That's a really cool feature. But overall, it's kind of like, okay, I really still rather have a PC, because PC, you get so much more bang for your buck than a MacBook. The App Store told me that it's app developer who's responsible for refunds, not the App Store. Really? So you're telling me for Samsung, they're telling you the app developer is responsible for that? That's really weird. That's something I never heard of, but because I never heard of it, I'm not sure that I can answer that. Which one would it be? I have an issue of glass peeling from my Note 5. Do you think Samsung will honor my warranty? Absolutely, they should honor your warranty. Will the Note 7 have a different design? It will have a slightly different design, but how much? That's we'll have to wait and see. Do you know if Android Wear a Bluetooth issue on Samsung's phones is fixed on Marshmallow update? I keep having to uninstall my Wear and my 360. I had no issue with my Android Wear and my Note 5. I did not use it on the S7 though, so I'm not sure about that, but I had no issue with it on my Note 5. So I'm not sure what the issue is though. I just came back from Japan. Japan was amazing. Oh, you took the trip to Japan. Toilets are the most advanced in the world. The potty opens up by itself. Budget water pressure spray. spray position, massaging features, and a dryer. The toilet massages you. Okay, that's just. I mean, that's a whole nother thing that's in that. I will just say that is interesting. In my opinion, S Pen features greater than the S7 Edge features. Yeah, I would say that too. But if you have the Note Edge 7, you get the best of both worlds. I bought my Note 5 from Sprint for 730. Do you think that the Note 7 Edge will be $100 more? If so, will will the Edge 7 be only $50 less? The Edge 7 will go down in price. My guess is the Note will be $799. On Sprint, though, they charge a bit more sometimes when you're buying it outright or in certain features, so it might be $100 more actually, because I think it would be $799, but they might charge like $824 to $830 for it. Again, once once Samsung sells it to Sprint or with the carriers, the carrier gets to choose what price. It's just that most other carriers make it competitive. What's going on with the wedding? You didn't like my idea inviting us to your wedding. Never got a reply for that comment. I'm not inviting any of you guys to my wedding, unfortunately. One is just because it costs a lot of money. Here's the thing. I will be recording lots of the wedding, so you guys will get to see a lot of behind the scenes stuff and a lot of things overall in general. So you guys will get to see some of that stuff. So stay tuned for that. You guys will get that stuff. What do you think about the Google Assistant, and how soon do you think we'll see it? We'll see it at the end of the summer. It will be out before the end of the summer, along with Allo and Duo. No, I don't think it'll be 50 more. Honestly, it will be 799. The Note 7. What do you think is the most beautiful phone you can buy now and near future? I mean, right now, again, I love the way the S7 Edge looks. I think it's probably the best looking device out in my opinion, but design is so subjective because some people like metal phones better. So the HTC M10 will be the best, or the HTC 10 will be the best one. It really depends on your opinion. I do not agree though. Anyone that says the iPhone is the best looking phone, because those antenna lines look ugly as hell. Is the Note 5 getting 6.0 update for T-Mobile in Jersey? I mean, a lot of people got the Marshmallow update a long time ago for T-Mobile. My fiance got it probably about 2 months ago. So yeah, you should have it. Um, where do I live? I live in Los Angeles. Ricky, I'm looking to upgrade to either the S7 Edge or the Note 7 from the Note 4, but the deciding factor will be which one is better one-handed use. I'm 5'11", fairly big hands. I would say, I mean, the Note 7 will have a bigger screen, so therefore by default the S7 Edge will have a better one-handed use based on that alone. But it just really depends on what you want. Overall, the Note 7 will be better than every way than the S7 Edge, but if you want one-handed usability, yeah, I do think the S7 Edge will be better one-handed because it's a smaller screen. Note 4 just hard because of the borders. Yeah, the Galaxy Nexus was hot for a year, but it was early 4G device. Battery life was horrible. I think it was only also 720p resolution. Yes, but 720p resolution was the peak at that point. It was the first phone with 720p resolution, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was definitely the first one on Verizon that ever had 720p. 720p was not a common thing. You have to remember the iPhone didn't have 720p till the iPhone 6. All the iPhones before that were not 720p. I unfortunately didn't go to the largest electronics store in the world due to the lack of time. The trains go every corner of Tokyo. That's really cool. Should I sell my Note 4 and buy the S7 Edge or wait for the Note 7? Again, I would personally wait for the Note 7. Will Samsung to remove the sound too loud, that kind of pop-up thing? I'm not sure what you mean, the sound too loud. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Ricky, how much do you pay for... Oh, how much should I pay for that Samsung wireless charger? The one I have is the one that's $79. There is an older one that's a flat one, and this was $59. But I do like the one that stands up much better. Uh, should I go for the Beta 4 on the Nexus 6P? It's my daily driver, and I'm not a developer. I mean, it's always at your own risk. I've heard no issues with it. So, like the split screen is a lot faster on the Beta 4. But you know, it's always your chance kind of thing. Best Bluetooth speaker, JBL Charge 2 or now the Charge 3. The JBLs are really great. They're my best small ones, actually. Like, the speaker that I believe I'm going to take for my trip is actually the new Clip that just came out. I think it's called the Clip 3, I believe. That one is the one I'm going to take for my trip for my vacation, just to give you an idea of how much I do like smaller JBLs. I can send you a time lapse with the. Oh, okay, that's cool. I meant the live stream. Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean, James, about the live stream. I like Toshiba laptops with the i7 processor. They are much superior screen when I seen the shop. They are really good. Well, see, again, yeah, see, a new laptop for speed purposes, I mean, again, all you need is an i7 and you have the best speed. You want at least 8 gigs of RAM or 16 if you need to do more. But i7, 8 gigs of RAM minimum is what you're looking for. Yes, I have slimmed down. I'm 32 pounds down, so thank you for that. Lost 32 pounds. Still got hopefully how much to go? I want to lose 50 total, so I got 28 or sorry, 18 more pounds to go. Will Samsung improve the headphone and speaker quality in the Note 7? I hope so, because I only use Bluetooth. I'd never even plug in earphones because the quality is just really bad. Does the LG G5 overheat like the G3? It does heat up a bit, yeah. It heats more than the G4 did. But that's to be expected because it's metal. How do you like the Gear 360 cam? Is it worth getting when it goes for sale for the general public? I will do my review soon on the Gear 360. I really do like it. I think it's amazing. And again, it's going to serve my purpose, which I'm going to use it for my wedding. So I think it'll be great for that purpose. No, I'm not using Hangouts for live stream. I used to use Hangout for live stream. If you catch like about 20 episodes ago, we did used to use Hangout, but I did upgrade to a live streaming program that cost you money for licensing it. And that is, what the heck is this? I actually forget. Why can't I think of the name of this? It's just telling me it's streaming live right now, but what are you? XSplit. XSplit Broadcaster is what I use now in order to film. It's just a better quality, better seamless, and you can do a lot more than you can on Hangouts, which is limited, and also do a much better quality for you guys here. With Hangouts, I could not do what I'm doing now, which right now I'm actually using an SLR or a mirrorless camera to film me, whereas on Hangouts I could only really use a webcam. So much better quality without Hangouts. So here's the thing: you're disagreeing with me on Dwizzle, which is fine. You know, again, there are lots of misconceptions about batteries, and here's the thing: people think that the modern lithiums don't have an issue with overcharging, but here's what actually happens. What happens when you charge overnight is your phone has something called trickle charging that's supposed to prevent your battery from overcharging, so the cycle count doesn't overdo it and mess up. But here's the thing: trickle charging only slows down the process. It's why after a year, your battery life sucks. Ask anyone that charges their phone overnight, after a year, their battery life sucks. I don't care what phone you have. Your battery life sucks after a year. And that's why, because you charged it overnight. However, wireless charging, the reason why it doesn't have the same issue is because it doesn't have the voltage to overcharge it. It does not overcharge it. So that's the main thing. My Note Edge overheats like crazy. What should I do? Check out my video on like the Note 5 on how to save battery life and how to speed it up, and that'll help you turn off a lot of things to give you the best kind of situation for your Note Edge. Ricky, will Apple make an iPhone 7 Pro? No, it does not look like it. It looks like they'll only make an iPhone and an iPhone Plus. Do you think the Surface 3 is a good buy now since Microsoft is not making it anymore? I personally do not think the Surface 3 was ever a good buy because the Atom processor is crap. And I would never buy the lowest processor I would ever buy is an i3 processor. I would never buy a lower processor than that. Quite frankly, if you do, you're selling yourself short. And even if you just do internet and word processing, you're still going to have a slower device and you won't be happy in the long run. I would personally never get a device that doesn't have an i3 at the minimum. I usually recommend most people get an i5. My brother, I'm actually getting him a laptop. So for my brother, me and my mom are getting him a laptop for his birthday in 2 weeks. And we're getting him an i5 processor with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 solid state drive. And I think we're getting it before the warranty. We got it for $440 or $450. So, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that's perfect for him. It will last him multiple years. You know, we got a 3-year warranty on it for him. And it should easily last those 3 years for what he does, which is basic. He is a basic user. But again, i5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 solid state, perfect. Which phones do you currently have? I have the S7 Edge, S7, Nexus 6P, LG G5, iPhone 7 Plus, Huawei Mate 8, HTC M9, and LG V10, along with some other older ones. Do you know whether the new Note tablet will have better speakers? I do believe the new Note tablet will have better speakers. Does companies send you units to review? Some companies do send me units to review. Some companies don't. It depends on the company. Question: what is the best wireless earphone for a Samsung phone so I can pick up calls and have controls? Right now, I would say, well, first of all, it depends what you want. Do you want in-ear or over-ear or on-ear? Those are 3 different kind of headphones, so that's what you have to decide on first. The in-ear, I would say the LG Tones are typically the best ones. However, you don't want the current Infinims. If you want to get the best quality, you want the older Infinims. So yeah. The older Infinims my fiance has, she loves them. She uses them every weekend when she uses them, and just whenever she needs to. and she loves them. She never had an issue with it. My One of my best friends that reviews headphones and speakers, he hates the new Infinims. He said there's such a lower quality comparing to it. Um, what's your internet plan? My internet plan for home is FiOS. I get 75 megabits per second upload and download speed. And my internet plan for T-Mobile is unlimited internet. Sony Bluetooth speakers. I have the SRS X5. I have not heard of that one. If I'm, oh, okay. So it's a really cool, just nice speaker. I haven't tried that one. I'm not really a big speaker person, to be honest. I mean, for the reason why I wanted the one I wanted, which I don't think this is anywhere near that size, I would have to look into it, but I'm guessing this is more of like a bigger size, right? Yeah, this is more of a bigger size. I'm not looking for anything that big, to be honest. The only what I'm looking for right now is a smaller one for my trip, something that easily fits in a suitcase and it's not taking up almost any space. That's what I'm looking for right now, overall. But I'm just not that into speakers. I don't care for speakers that much. I have a great Braven speaker called the Miria for my shower because it's completely water resistant. So that's the one I have for my shower. Other than that, I don't really use Bluetooth speakers because I have my computer speakers and I have headphones for almost everything I use. What's a DOS laptop? If you don't know what a DOS laptop is, you don't need it. That's that simple. Good point. The trickle charging. I agree. I agree with you on the battery issue. After I applied your suggestion, unplug after full battery. My battery life's been awesome. I appreciate your advice. Thank you very much. Yeah. And again, I tell you guys this stuff so that you don't have these issues, and then you can spread that word so that you know the suckiest thing. Like I'll tell an iPhone user the same thing. It's not that I'm biased completely against Android in that aspect. Like, look, this is better for you. Do not charge overnight. Your battery life's gonna suck. Uh, for me, the best tethering to my phone, tablet, Wi-Fi. I mean, it's better speed and more reliable connection. Yeah. Uh, what's the best phone you really like the most right now? The S7 Edge. I mean, I do love it. I have no issues with it. Again, my only issue is that I do believe, and every flagship has the same processor right now. I do believe the Snapdragon 820 is not good for gaming. The Exynos processor on my international S7 is much better, so I do prefer to game on this. iPhone 7 Plus, you said you are owning. Oh, sorry, I have an iPhone 6 Plus, not an iPhone 7. I have an iPhone 6 Plus, not an iPhone 7 yet. I do not have that one yet. I will get it, of course, but we do not have that in the studio right now. Ricky does Samsung Gear 3S that will come out. We already saw the leak last weekend. If you did not check that out, last weekend we saw the leak. It looks like a Rolex, pretty amazing looking actually. So I'm definitely excited for it. How come my YouTube on my Tab S2 keeps pausing? I have to keep pressing the play button. I watch YouTube on my Tab S2. I don't have that issue. Make sure you do the latest update because I did get the update for Marshmallow last week, so make sure you do that update. Oh, will the Gear S3 design be different? Yes. The new Jaybird Freedoms look nice. Yeah, the Jaybirds are always good. Are Chinese phones good? Depends on the maker. Really depends on the maker. And they have to be made for international. Typically, if you're living in the US, they don't have all the bands that are going to be best for here. So if you get a Chinese phone that's an international one, just know that you might not have the strongest signal on AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon. It just might not be the strongest signal. The Sony Bluetooth speaker will fit in your suitcase. It has bass, not too overwhelming, not too much distortion. Again, for me, like I'm looking for a very small portable. Like if you look at the clip, look at the JBL clip. It is tiny. Like it is tiny, but it has enough. All I want is a water resistant small portable speaker that doesn't suck. That's all I'm looking for my trip. because I do like water resistant, because I do like to listen to music in the shower and all that kind of stuff. I like that. It just keeps my head clear and it keeps me just having fun. The international version, whoops. Is the international version much higher price? Will it be available in August? I'm not sure of what you mean, which international version. If you're talking about the Note 7, the international version typically is about the same price, to be honest. And will it be available in August? I'm assuming it will be, but I have no, yeah. All right, guys. I think we will call it a show. It went a little more than an hour. First of all, I just want to say thank you as always for watching. Please give that like, thumbs up, as it says right there in the comment section down below. It really helps me out. It really helps us keep doing these episodes. So please give that like, thumbs up down below. Thank you as always for watching. I've got a couple more videos coming tonight, so make sure to check those out. And a lot more videos coming this week. All right, guys. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.